Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this time I have another account review video for you. I had two other ones besides this one, so if you guys want to see my old builds, you can check it out there. Sorry, getting water. I know I said I was gonna make a RTA video during the last day. Sorry, I got lazy and I was just like pushing by myself because there was only like I was playing during like the last hour, not even the last hour, like the last 30 minutes, and I was like, I mean, I could make a video, but I don't know, I just wanted to make this instead. So yeah, but we did hit Emperor again, so that's cool, I guess. Not really a big fan of the frame. I mean, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, whatever. I'm not a fan. But my thoughts on this season, I hated this season. Definitely the worst season out of all the RTA seasons I've played by a landslide. Oh my god. I don't even think the standard players enjoyed it. That's how bad it was. Like, even though standard players got to abuse all the broken knights, like, they didn't even enjoy it because there was so much RNG and just made me want to throw up. But regardless, we're gonna do this fast account review. PSA, I'm not gonna make this like 30 minutes like last time because who has time for that? If you want to ask more specific questions, just leave it about like a unit, then just leave it in the comments or message me on Discord. But yeah, let's just speedrun this. So we have Melissa. This unit is fucking terrible. She's just there for CP at this point. So we have Aiden next. Aiden, she was still my anchor for the majority of this season. But left side Aiden is complete dog shit. Not only does she not dodge, she also can't kill. She has this much damage, but she can't one-tap AUC without attack buff. And it's just like, why am I giving you all this gear? Like, at this point, she's just there for the invincibility. For the team 1 invincibility, and like that's literally it. So I kind of like stopped using her around like the latter half of the season. I just picked Poultice instead, but that has its own issues, and I'll get into that when we get to Poultice. Briarwitch Iseria, this unit is still fucking broken. She's like what, like the 4th most pre-ban unit or something like that in Emperor Plus. She shits on revive teams, she shits on teams that rely on buffs, and she shits on evasions. So it's like 3 playstyles or 3 concepts of units that just completely get shat on by one unit. And she's on like rocket, so she can never miss. And then with this build, she can one-tap Aiden without mitigation, so it's great for me. Ram, CP bot next. A Leica. Now this unit fell off hard. This unit is like, this used to be one of the best 4 or 5 picks, and she still is a good 4 or 5 pick. But it's just so hard to use this unit nowadays. There's units that outspeed this unit now, like aggro units like DDR, Mediator, AOL that can speed contest this unit. Meta is super tanky. There's a lot of non-attack skill punishers still. Like AU Fiend is running around everywhere. It's just hard to use this unit at all. Yeah, it's just when a meta is revolving around Bellion, Landy, and U-Fiend, then it's just like, how can you ever use this unit? So instead of Elika, I used Straze instead. Now, Straze I used a lot because he doesn't need to rely on non-attack skill, which means he doesn't care about Ocean Breeze, doesn't care about Celine, Politis, Abyssal U-Fiend, doesn't trigger a counter either, which is huge, unlike Elika. Not triggering a counter lets you follow up with stuff like a C Pavel, where he doesn't get counterattacked, so C Pavel won't die. And he also has more survivability than Elika too, because he has invincibility. And he's with the Tachi, he can get the attack buff twice, once on the S3 and once on the S2. Elika, after she S3, she's just a sitting duck and she just dies. So I preferred Straute a lot more. Now Kisei, she was still just the Ame follow-up. Nothing really new here. Caesarea, she got a little bit faster than last time, but she lost some bulk. But like, I mean, my Caesarea never had bulk in the first place. Yeah, she's 268, so which means she now perfectly cuts my Rand speed, which is 315. So she's perfectly speed tuned. And she's still on attack, she's still on effectiveness, not effectiveness ring because I'm trying to do as much damage as possible to stuff like Karina's. Kalric, he's just like another secondary speed lead. He's just there for like fun, honestly. I can pick him with other imprints, and then if he takes turn 1, he just blows up the whole team by himself, so. Another CP bot. Rand, still my main opener. Nothing new has changed with this Rand, I think, from last season. Still kills imprints, still does his job, takes turn 1. RNG, his unit gets force fed a lot of the time in my drafts, but what can you do? It's Rand, right? So, yeah. He has a billion counters, but he can RNG win his way through on some of them. Illwig, now this unit, oh my god, when this unit came out, I used this unit so much. More than I thought, because if you last pick Illwig, and then first pick Zeo, and then your middle 3 units are like non-mages, then people don't pick Bellion until like pick 5. And then at that point you can just ban it. So last pick Ludwig was super good for me. It let me guarantee a soul burn on Rand, because if they ban Zeo, I get Ludwig's book. If they ban Ludwig, I have Zeo's book. He's on 244 speed to cut after 1 soul burn. And he's on 95 crit chance, obviously, but I'm missing 1 imprint. After 1 imprint, it'd be like 97.6 or something like that. His damage is really good. He also doesn't require non-attack skills to proc, which is nice. So, yeah. Illwig. Pavel, he's just... I guess this is just for CP. I don't know what kind of build he's on, not gonna lie. This is just my imprint. Like I said, again, I just pair this unit with Wanderer's Silk. I only use him in imprint races, so his damage isn't even that good, but it's good enough for imprints. So that's the important part. Now, Jacko. This is my anti-Zeo counter Jacko. So what that means is that she's on a very high speed. Maybe not super high, but 240 is still pretty good. She's on 240, so she can go before openers with G-Perk if I have Politis. I know that's a lot to take in right now, but my drafts for anti-Zeo teams is Zeo, Rand, Politis, and then if they take G-Perk, I take Jacko plus Rowana, because Rowana already beats G-Perk, so I need a second answer that beats G-Perk in case Rowana gets banned, and that's Jacko. So if they ban Rowana, then Zeo can S3 G-Perk, and then Jacko will cut before their Luas with this speed because she cuts 30% CR, and then G-Perk will only push 9% because of my Politis. Now, she also has enough damage to kill G-Perk. So, assuming they have 3 stealth units and I kill G-Perk with the S3, I can hit their Stenny since the other 3 units are stealth. So, I just won the game at that point. So, this is her job. This is the only job for Jacko. I don't use her against regular takedown teams or regular teams because her damage isn't good enough. Only in the scenario where G-Perk is picked in an anti-Zeo trap. Commander Pavel, same build. If I have double crits, he just nukes, he does the job. Nothing really new with C Pavel. Politis, same thing. She's on some effectiveness, so she can maybe get a lucky unbuffable / blind on Krinas if she lands. And just as much damage as possible. She's not 220 because I don't want her to cut in front of my Rand in scenarios where Politis procs after my Zeo. So for example, if I S3 a Senya with Zeo, then that's going to trigger Senya's passive, which triggers Politis' passive, and if I have Rand, I don't want my Politis to cut in front of my Rand and then S3 before my Rand S3s, because I'm not going to make use of defense break if that's the case. So she's purposely speed tuned to be like 1% behind my Rand. So Rand goes, he still gets to do his S2, S3, and then Politis can follow up S3ing on defense break broken targets. Yeah. Yufin, this unit fell off. There's no reason to draft Yufin anymore. At all in any scenario. I guess versus Karina, but Karina has her own counters if you're Zeo cleaving, so yeah, you don't gotta worry about Yufin. Same with this unit. You don't really need to draft this unit because why would you draft Ludwig if you could just draft Kisei with Amit? Because Ludwig requires book, but Kisei doesn't. And it's like, well, if they take Bellion, then your Amit Ludwig combo just dies. But if you have Kisei, then you can take that versus Bellion. So yeah. This is a Guild War tech. This is a build for Guild War. I use it with Nakul and Riku and Rana. Yeah, just a normal opposite build. She got nerfed. She doesn't have good gear anymore, but this unit sucks anyways. I want to try to build a Wall of Order, but we'll see how that goes. Ace just regular gear. I don't ever touch him. DPS Sid. Now, my Sid got nerfed slightly on his crit chance. He used to be like 85, 86, so his guaranteed crit on yesterday, now he's has a 2% chance to miss. But I'm willing to take those odds still. He can one-tap Karina's on a Soulburn with the Flans buff. He can one-tap Eds, one-tap DDRs. He can pretty much one-tap anything he wants to if he has a Soulburn. He's super good. Super good unit. I wish my Sid was better, but I don't have the gear for it. So it's like, what can you do? Steadies, this was my... Oh, let me check the time. Oh my god. We're already 11 minutes? Okay, I gotta go faster. Holy shit. So Steady was my anti-Zeo pick, and that's pretty much it. I only drafted her in anti-Zeo, so I've been picking stuff like Jeeper and Christy and all that shit. Ada, speed tune for my Ran. Her crit chance doesn't really matter because I really only used her for some damage and then to get the stuns off importantly, which is why she has effectiveness. So you can get away with like 90 crit rate, it's fine on Ada. She has 2 AoEs. So. Astromancer, this is still at the perfect speed to cut my Ran. Assuming they have no CR cuts. She has a shit ton of damage, good into counterattackers. Honestly pretty underrated in my opinion. People shed on her, but I found some usages for her, honestly. She's pretty good. Stuff into like BBK, Kron, Landy, Green Arm and stuff like that. Another unit I used a lot, Summer Break Charlotte. I love this unit. So this was my other unit with Summertime if I'm playing against a Zeo trap with Aiden. So against Aiden traps, I draft Zeo Politis, Ran, Summer Break, and Caesarea. So with that I can S1 Zeo. I can hit this Auden if assuming I hit because I have Briggs Artifact. We pretty much kill the Aiden. If not, then Summer Break cuts in front, places bombs, and then at that point she wins. And it doesn't really matter who gets banned because both Summer Break and Caesarea can deal with Aiden. So yeah. And she's perfectly speed tuned to go after my Ran or Zeo. Alright, now my Zeo here, he got slightly nerfed, I'd say. His effectiveness dropped down by like 5%, which is like not that big of a deal. His speed went up though, to 261, which is pretty good. I don't know what that cuts. It's like 326 or something like that. So pretty good. And yeah, we all know what Zeo does at this point. My anti-cleave RV, that's all I can say. Without Briar, obviously. If there's Briar, I don't got this unit. This is like my cope evasion counter unit, but I just use the Hawk instead. This PvE imprints. So yeah, so this is my Landy. So this Landy is also used for anti-Zeo. So if I fight against the Zeo team, or a first pick Zeo, my first 2 picks are Faithless Lidica and Veronica. And then if they imprint race me, I just pick Landy. So if they ban my Faithless Lidica, I still have a bridge with Landy. Since Landy with a G-Perk push can still take the turn above like their enemy Ran. So she just pushes up, and then if I have Stenny, I can soul burn it, or get a kill, and this damage is enough for cleave teams, so it's fine. Now Sez, I actually used Sez a lot, and during like the last like 2 weeks, surprisingly, because of C Armin teams, and Sez is actually not bad into Crimson Armin teams because you can kill Crimson Armin with Sez, and if he has attack crit damage buff from Amit and then you soul burn it with if you pick Zeo Amit, he can blow up the Crimson Armin and then blow up the rest of the team with the splash damage. It's crazy. This unit is so underrated. I love Sez. Yeah, I use them actually quite a bit, and I got some wins too. So he's like probably like I think I've lost like maybe twice with him out of like 10 games. He's really good. Wyvern one shot. My main evasion counter with Viseria. So they take Auden plus like, I don't know, Karina, and I take Zahak Briar, and I take a book along with me as well. I just like Zahak better than LPK because he has the utility of giving someone else attack buffs, and giving Viseria attack buff makes it so if they take Ed, which is a pretty common answer to Briar, what I can do is I can S3 the Ed with Zahak, and then my Briar Witch with attack buff can actually kill Ed without proccing his EE. So that's really good, because Edward's like at like maybe at that point 30-40% HP, and Briar just nukes it with attack buff. This is like my cleave BBK, but I never drafted her because her build's still a work in progress. She's too slow, but we'll get it eventually. Naquo. Now this was my other opener besides Ran. If he was Ran, was banned, and they're not contesting speed. She's super strong. She's on Candle, so she can get lucky defense breaks. Super broken unit. I use this unit a ton. She's like my 6th or 7th most picked unit during the season. Yeah, insanely broken. You can even draft her with 0 Rand, because since she binds everyone and increases their cooldown, they can't do anything, even if you have 3 openers. So your other 2 DPS, or I guess your other 1 DPS, right, since most likely the other DPS is going to get banned, your 1 DPS can just kill the rest of the team. So. This is just on a regular PvP build for Imprint Racing. He's designed to kill with a Wanderer Silk S2. Just on regular gear. Cope Speed Imprint, I don't really use her anymore. I used Shepherd Jaina once actually versus the CRM team, and I won. That was crazy. So, shout out Shepherd Jaina. Frostbite, OP. Rift stuff. My other opener, pretty good into Mood Bunny teams, because assuming he's faster, you can just take the turn, S3, and then you just blow everything with Strade C Pablo. So, they're not contesting much speed, but they have a lot of counterattackers like Bellion. You can take Closer Trials because S3 doesn't trigger counter. So, and neither does Strade S3, and neither does C Pablo S2, and at that point everything's dead. This is like my flex pick when I'm shifting more towards control. During like the 4 or 5 pick. She's pretty good. She's done her job every single time I picked her, and she's great. I like her during that scenarios where she's actually good. Yeah, not much else to say. She's an Almond follow-up, but I don't really draft her that much because I don't think it's that good. More Wyvern one-shots. We have PvE. It's my Cleave Lionheart. Now, what's a Cleave Lionheart? You give her like 230 speed. You S3 onto Eds, debuff them. Edward's gonna S2, Lionheart procs, pushes all the way to the front because she's that much speed. You don't even give her any lifesteal, just give her as much defense and crit damage as possible. I slapped her on Portrait and she blows everything out. It's so fun. It's so good too, people never expect it. They expect Lionheart's Remnant to be like an anchor, but no. She's just a cleave follow-up. It's great. Co-build. One of my few anti-cleave units I drafted. Her build is still trash, but like I said, she doesn't need to have a crazy build for anti-cleave. As long as she's on speed boost, she can cut above Sashay procs. Here's my Politica. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to use her during the Arte season, but I have lots of plans for to use her during this next season, because I know she can deal with full immunity teams, so that'll be great for me. It'll be another Zeo follow. Used to be my Wyvern Slave, not anymore. I never drafted this unit either. Here's my one-shot ML Ken build for ML Landy. So if I draft it with Ahmed or Flan, I just boost him up. I S3 onto ML Landy, and that bitch just explodes into like 5 different pieces. But like this build is so much damage. 5.6k attack, and he maxes out the crit damage because of Ahmed or Flan's crit damage buff. It's great, and he's on Portrait obviously. Here's my main anchor for Cleave, Arya. I drafted Arya so much this season. She's still great. She does her job like amazingly. Just because a lot of units, they don't have enough effectiveness to deal with her. She can 1v4 against Eds, Designers, Karinas, Sage Balls, etc. Right? A lot of these common anti-cleave units. She can't really deal with Aiden, unfortunately. That's the only one, but the other one she can, so she's great. This unit got stripped hella. Sorry, Conk. Galililius, I didn't really draft her too much, but she can kill LRKs that are around like 22, 23k HP. So if they ever draft that without any other mitigation, then I can draft like Galililius. Just on a coat build. PV stuff. My other speed imprint when I'm imprint racing. Her S2 is broken. Now Fumir, a recently built unit I built for the last week of the season. This unit is cracked with Veronica, Flitty, and Sid. If I draft, so against first pick Zeo teams, I take Flitica, Veronica, Sid, and Fumir. If they're playing like a tank down with Zeo as the first pick. And then that way, if any of those four don't get banned, because they're most likely going to ban the last unit, which is usually like an Anchor or like C Pablo or something, then if Fumir gets her S2 off, the game's over on the spot, no matter like what units they have. They can have a full tank team. If they're all sleep defense broken, it's GG. They're stuck for 2 turns. So they pass their turn twice. And then Sid can slowly just break each one of them one by one. And it's over. And she has around 230 effectiveness to debuff even stuff like Ocean Breezes and stuff like that. If I get lucky. And it's all non-attack skill too, so you don't have to rely on hit chance to land it. This unit is broken for Flitty cleaning. Para, this was my other speed lead Ramblers band, pretty much it. Flan, she's not the fastest, but I only used her with Ahmed. So Zeo, Ahmed, Flan combo. Just a random speed imprint. Rift stuff. Here's one of my anti-Zeo traps. Silvertide Christie along with G-Perg. And she's on 253 F-Res with Bastion of Perlucia. So units have to, or the Zeo has to get, he has to pass 2 checks for my Christie, right? One on the immunity and then one on the her actual debuff chance. So yeah, I don't think Zeos has ever debuffed her once. Just because it's a lot to break through. 250 F-Res, and you have to pass it twice, right? So, and she's on some effectiveness, so she can perma-provoke some units. Oh yeah, and she also gets effectiveness buff, so this is technically 100 F, and if she has 100 F, you can just provoke anything you want at that point. Designer, anti-cleave stuff, nothing really new here. We know what she does. Now here's my Flitty. I only used her against first pick Zeo. Now it sounds crazy because my Flitty is 274 speed, but I can go 2 routes, right? So they first pick Zeo, I take Flitty, Veronica. Now if they continue to speed imprint and race me, then that's when I take G-Perg, Silvertide Christie. I just bait them into an anti-Zeo draft. But if they slow down, they pick like LRK and stuff like that, then I pick Sid and Fumir. It's super flexible first picking Flitty and Veronica together against the first pick Zeo. I hardly lose by doing that. So even if her speed is low, she doesn't need to be fast because I'm either using her or I'm using her in an anti-Zeo draft, or I'm using her against a slow Zeo tank down team. So it's fine. She takes a turn either way. Just a regular build. I don't really draft her too much. Ahmed, I drafted her a little bit during my phase where I pre-banned Yufine and Moon Bunny. She's pretty good still. You just need to be careful about Politis, but if you take ML Ken, it's a great combo with Ahmed. Kisei obviously too, pretty good unit. Lua, just a regular Lua build. He's not that fast. I only paired her with Aelika. That's why she's not Song of Stars. Veronica, my other first pick, I guess, with Flitica. Super flexible unit. She can kill squishy units with the S3, S1. Sage Balls can't deal with Veronica because you can S1 instead of S3. So if you S1, you push up the unit above Sage Ball. So great for that. And she's just good in general. I like Veronica. Kayron, this is like my cope unit when I'm Zeo racing someone, and then I'm just gonna last pick Kayron as a force ban, and then I get to keep my Zeo against imprint teams, which is nice. This is more for like a PvE build at this point, so Bibless, this unit fucking sucks. I don't know what to say. Her buff, it isn't really meant for cleave, it's still meant for like standard, so I have no reason to use this Bibless. I don't really know how to use her either, so if anyone knows, let me know. Wyvern one-shot, PvE stuff. Moon Bunny, I used Moon Bunny a couple times when they're picking, when they pre-ban Zeo and then first pick Kong. Then I take Ran Moon Bunny because I have 2 answers to Kong at that point. So, works for me. I drafted her kind of a lot during the last week. She got a lot of wins, I can't lie. She has some effectiveness to like maybe get a lucky sleep on Karinas and shit. So, Unit's great. Jupiter, we already know what he does. He's on a damage build, so you can one-tap cleave units, and then just pair it in the Christie team. Pretty much it. PvE, Anchor I used to use a lot, but kind of fell off just because there's so many counters to A-Ravi now. Even Sage Balls can win in a 1v1 versus A-Ravi if they just keep on sleeping. It's happened to me before. Yeah, this unit not great, but I mean if she gets counters off, then it's like, okay, cool, but still kind of rare where I actually get to use her. But I have drafted her a couple times, just not a lot. Requiem Rowana, still a great unit for me. I use her a lot still, even though the Sleeping's, I mean I pre-ban her, so it's fine. Still on a shit ton of effectiveness, so you can reset anything you want. She still has F-Res to not get reset by Eds, you know, which is great. I've never been reset by an Ed before with this build. And she's just great in general. I love Requiem Rowana, super good. PvE, Violet, I only use Violet as an anti-cleave against Manada. PvE, Rift stuff / Imprint, maybe, if I'm coping. Guild War unit, for fun unit. Racer Celeste. Now, even though it's not that fast, this Celeste is, I just use it as a second speed lead if I'm picking Ran with 4 imprints. So, in case they ban my Ran, I still have a fast unit to pick along with my imprints. So yeah. Rana's pretty much just on a PvE build, I guess. It's not that good, but yeah. Wyvern one shot. This is still my cheese Sharon build. New here. PvE. A-Lots if I'm. Oh, I mean he's too slow, but I can pair A-Lots with what it says, and then you can soul burn. Pretty good. Guild War, I guess. Yeah, coat build. Another coat build. Another coat build. This is a really old build. This is like one of my first ever built units. She's on trash gear. Same with this. All these units are like old ass units I built a long time ago. This unit's just trash. Lots as well. Another PvE slave. Ort, Mighty Warrior, Kiris, and Angelica. There we go. Those are all of my units on this account. So a lot of those were PvE at the end, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this was a slightly shorter account review, I hope, but yeah. I hope next season's a little bit better, and I will see you guys next video. Bye guys.